Good morning and welcome aboard the driveway train. We're in Wilbur today, as always, my favorite daily driving dump truck. We got the message this morning from buddy Reuben on Tomato Concrete, and they had the concrete supplier come by and have a look at that driveway, and they have concerns that their trucks aren't going to be able to back up through that curve. I guess it being new road bond, and just like I've talked about in the past few videos, it being too dry. I don't have a water truck, and I don't know if necessarily dry rolling it or rolling it while the road bond is dry, it can't help but to help. But we're gonna go down here to Sunbelt, pick up a little smooth drum roller, and I'm just gonna take my time and I'm gonna roll it about 3 times more than I would if it was wet. If it's wet, it just, you know, it weights the fines down and it helps it compress. But I think Ruben's really wanting to try to pour tomorrow if possible. If it don't work out, there's at least a small chance of rain over the next 3 days. So hopefully we can get a little rain if it just don't work out tomorrow. This is just one of those situations that, you know, a lot of people get them aggravated or just plumb ticked off, but it is what it is. You just got to roll with the punches, and if it's just too dry, it's just too dry. If this was something that was a problem on every single job, I just have to find a way to buy a water truck and wet these roads down. But you know, weather comes and goes. The Southeastern Lane Specialist will always be here, and we'll find a way to make it happen. I've got to chain up to the concrete truck and pull him up to the job. That's what we'll do, if they let me. Hopefully Big Orange can pull one. I'll get me a load of riprap in this truck. And I can pull it. We'll figure it out. Optimism is the key. You got to keep a positive attitude. And even if you have a positive attitude and things don't work out, you say, okay, that didn't work, let's try something else. You don't give up. That's just not an option. So, we're going to go to the yard, get our trailer, head to Sunbelt. It's easy to stay optimistic when you got your Dunkin'. Things ain't going to plan, get some Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts makes everything better. Okay, so we just went by Asheville Mulch Yard. Our customer that we've been doing all this road work for wants a load of mulch. So we calculated she needs 6 yards, and that's about 800 pounds a yard. So that's only 4,800 pounds in the bed. And then, I've got my nose tickled. Then we're going to have the trailer, and we can go pick up that roller that only weighs 2,000–3,000 pounds. And we'll just haul everything at one time. We'll be well within our legal weight limit, which also means that Wilbur won't have any trouble pulling all of it. So, that's part of being in this type of business. It's a general way of thinking. When you're doing any transport, you want to pack as much on the truck as you can, legally and safely as possible, to optimize, you know, your fuel and wear on the truck. A lot of people think, well, the more you pack on there, the more fuel you're going to burn. Yeah, the more wear you're going to put on the truck. That's true too. But a lot of wear items are going to be roughly the same. And as far as the difference between 4,800 pounds and 6,000 pounds on these diesel engines, you wouldn't even feel the difference, and you're not going to notice the difference in fuel. So, unless it's a huge difference, pack it on there and make as few trips as possible. Hardware, pick up about 200 feet of weed barrier for them, and then we'll go get that roller. This back way, easier to get out in traffic. Red light. This little highway right here stays busy. Might take a little longer, but we don't get in hurries. Alright, 200 feet of weed barrier. Now we're on our way. Pick up a roller. Hard for these smooth drum rollers to get up and over that 3-inch lip at the bottom of those ramps. So what I do is at that lip, I lay this binder, and it makes it kind of like a little ramp up onto that ramp. Makes it a heck of a lot easier for that roller to climb. Or at least get up and over this lip. The reality just goes to prove that not every plan works out. I didn't notice until after those first few tries that one side of that drum was a little bit wet. These rollers have a system that wets that drum, so if you're rolling asphalt, it doesn't stick to the drum. Unfortunately, wet metal on metal does not grip, so what I did was drive over there and I drove those drums through the dirt a little bit to put that grit on the drums, and you saw how much easier it climbed up on there. So where there's a will, there's a way, my friends. Let's chain this thing down, head up the road. Unloaded the roller, unhooked the trailer, and we parked the roller in front of the trailer. We're just going to be up here for a few minutes, but you'd be surprised how fast the trailer can get stolen. So we're going to go up the hill with this loaded mulch and the weed barrier we got her, dump the mulch out, and this way we can assess the road and whatever material's being brought since we were up here yesterday. It'll probably just need to be run over one time with the box scrape to smooth out any ripples or uneven spots. And I'm going to try to use the sprinkler system that wets the drums on the roller without the vibration on. I'm just going to roll this corner up here a bunch of times and let it get good and damp and enough to work and soak in. And after I feel like it's wet enough, then I'll turn the vibration on and hopefully compact this corner as good as it can get. It's not ideal. It'd be a lot better to use a water truck or a good slow soaking rain, but how often is it that it rains exactly the right amount that you want? Hardly ever. So we're going to do the best we can with what we got, and hopefully it turns out the way we want. Optimism. Optimism is the key. I'll tell you what, there's plenty of pines in this road. The way the guy from the concrete company talks when it came up, that this road wasn't nothing but gravel, but I know better. So hopefully he just plain old error on the side of caution. So I think they'll have no problem backing up through there. That curve might give them a little problem, but we're going to make it as good as we can, that's for sure. Barrier. Love to smell that mulch. Alright, so we just dropped off our mulch. We're going to head back down to the bottom, grab our roller, and try to get this ground rolled in. It's actually looking like it might blow up a little rain. Starting to cloud up. If it would just rain about a half, maybe a quarter inch, it'd be perfect. But anything would be better than what we've got right now. So, well, let's hop to it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and on the keys. We'll get old big orange look, there he is. Now, let's see if I can manage to track this thing down the road without scuffing up my freshly packed road bond too badly. So I got that arm stuck way out there and blade side down. That way I can kind of bounce this thing. It's really light on the back end right now. Well, it's not real light, but it's definitely lighter than it would be. And I'm gradually turning my way through these curves. Oh yeah, it ain't scuffing too bad. You shouldn't. I've taken the dickens out of it. There comes my dump truck, man, right now. Yes, sir. Making her happen. Pulled over here to the side and out of his way. Alright, so we are pretty well done for the day. As you can see behind me, we've got old Yeller pulled down. I'm gonna load him up when I get back down. What I wanted to do, I've got to pull off this job tomorrow to do a mulching job, clearing land on Monday, so I didn't really want to wait too long to do kind of a finished video where we're at right now. And plus, this is the perfect time of day. The sun's gone down and there's no shadows to kind of be misleading as far as the road. So I'm gonna walk up toward the top, and once I catch my breath, we'll kind of walk downhill. That way it's easier to describe. The main purpose of the road here and the problem was water. So I'll be able to describe how I went about dividing and conquering that flow of water. Okay, I'm just going to do a real quick overview of each section of road that I've done up there. Essentially just regraded it, fresh coat of road bond, but it's going to get another coat all the way down through to here. Right here is where that ditch line comes and cuts off through there. And that's taking care of that part of the water. Now this section of road did not have any trouble really with washing, but it wasn't super rough or anything like that. So it's slightly dome shaped, not a lot. So water's going to go off that side and this side. What water comes down this side is just going to glide along this shallow ditch to a little bit bigger ditch. Starting here, the road banks just very slightly, not really enough to tell much difference. I'd say from one side to the other, there's probably a 4-inch drop where the water runs into this ditch line that we cut. And I decided on these to go ahead and do 15-inch inside diameter culverts. They're smooth, and I lined them with this riprap. Two purposes: it looks better. The other purpose is anytime you cut a fresh ditch line like this, no matter how much you track it or roll it or pack it, there's going to be loose material, sediment. So that sediment's going to run down here into these big rocks, and my hope is that that sediment will just accumulate to about right here, and then you'll still be left with this decorative entrance. Coming to the exit side of that culvert, I do kind of like a bowl, and any water that comes through that pipe is going to pick up speed again. It's going to hit this riprap, and it's going to have time to slow down so it doesn't cut that bank out. Now let me just comment on how consistent this road looks and actually is in composition. Every bit of this stone came from McCrary Stone Quarry in Marshall, North Carolina, and I'm extremely pleased with how consistent it is, because if you know the consistency, you can build a consistently good quality product, or in this case, our product is a road. So we'll just walk this section, because this, if you remember, was the worst section of this road. This side was just cut by water here, but this side really didn't have any problems. All of that brush, they just wanted us just to push it down and make them a nice smooth bank. We cut them a good consistent ditch with a consistent bottom, no up and down like that, because when that water falls, it tends to dig, okay? So even though we've got this nice and smooth, just on the side of caution, I put a couple of riprap breakers, and that water's going to hit that, and it's going to have to split up, and then as it comes, it's going to slow it down. It will come back together right down through here. Now here, this road, I left this side pretty much the way it was because it didn't have problems. This side had a big lip over here, so water couldn't get out. We shaved all of that off, so now water can just, instead of running down the road, it can just trickle off to the sides without doing damage. Again, we've got this consistent ditch, another riprap breaker, and also it will, you know, about halfway with the rains, any loose sediment is going to wash into those cracks, and it will clog it a little bit, but that's one of the dual purposes. It's better than all that sediment rushing down through here. And again, we cut this ditch nice and smooth, smooth on the bottom, smooth on the edge, and a good taper, not a sudden drop off. We got a little bit of a break here to slow that water down before it enters this 15-inch inside diameter, again, double wall plastic pipe. I wasn't able to get it as deep as I wanted just because we hit bedrock and really just wasn't in the budget for us to break it out. I feel confident that it is deep enough that we can take fully loaded trucks, and we've taken Jared's Traxel fully loaded across this pipe. I about said through, boy, that'd be something. Taking it across it multiple times, no problems. It hasn't even shown signs of squishing, so that's good news. So hopefully sediment will pile up right here, and then the riprap will be decorative and slow water down as it comes into the pipe. This side we have so much brush and growth and, you know, pretty much a natural sediment barrier. This water is going to wash out. I really don't anticipate a whole lot of water coming down off that side because that ditch wasn't really even there when we started this project. So I'm not envisioning a whole lot of water coming down that side anyway. So that was my judgment on not putting the expense into riprap right there. Here we hit rock. So what we had to do is raise this roadbed up and create a ditch by raising that roadbed. So now water coming down off this bank is just going to come down, and it's going to run down this edge all the way to our riprap barrier. Okay, and it was just convenient. The reason I did more riprap here was because I was dumping it. I backed the dump truck over there, dumped it into the hole, and I was able just to dip it out with the excavator, reach it over here and drop it in. So again, there's not going to be a lot of sediment here because our concrete truck and our dump trucks have been packing this. So not a lot of loose sediment. It's just going to trickle into here, and there's a pipe in here that goes over there apparently. So what I did end up doing, it's not my favorite way of doing this, but to stay on budget, we widened this section right here by about 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet, I'll say 2 conservatively, to make it easier for this transition. The road is pretty well, it is banked just slightly, but not much. So cars coming up are going to stay flat, and they're not going to want to spin as bad. They can keep traction on all 4 tires fairly evenly. Right here, we got just a little dip, gradual. It was a lot more, and that's because when I dug it with a 3-foot wide bucket, as I dug it out, okay, that bucket digs a straight, square hole. And then you just drive back and forth across it, and that's what makes that nice, gradual dip. My plan is, once it's all said and done, is to come up here with a load of road bond, and I'm going to back up just to the edge of that and take off and just spread a nice thin coat. So it's going to be a nice smooth road, but it's going to have a slight dip to catch any water coming down through there, and just run it off into the brush and where it can cause no harm to any roads. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna have to go into auctioneer mode. All of this road is dome shaped. It's not really a sharp crown, dome. Nice, smooth flowing water, okay? Down through here, this ditch line had places where it was cut in and it was straight off and it was just crazy. So we smoothed that ditch out, made a nice transition off the edge of the road. And these areas where you see the riprap is those places that had caved off. And that riprap's gonna hold that road in place. This is just a water breaker to slow the water down. This right here, this is all just eating away at the road and caved off. So we expanded the road, piled that riprap. I used the excavator bucket to hammer it in. That's not going anywhere. This is all just a nice smooth transitioning ditch line. Dome-shaped driveway, as always. My favorite way to do it. You want that water to trickle off sides. You don't want it to run. Another water breaker. We're just cruising on down through here. That was just some leftover material. We just threw it in there. It can never hurt. The rest of this road, easy. Easy as pie. And I've got it just nice, smooth pitch. They had, and I hit rock here, and that's why they've built this dirt up to create a ditch line. And it goes all the way down. And if I had my druthers, I would have brought about 6 more trucks of road bond to build this road up, but that just wasn't in the budget. So we did definitely the best we could. I'm satisfied with it. I think this road is going to last. It's going to serve them well. But as always, they know they get a free touch up because it's been so dry. I mean, I'm just hoping for rain. But it's been so dry, it's hard even after rolling this whole road to get it to lock in. So I told them, next time it rains, call me. If it's washed, then all I gotta do is do a touch up. It'll have moisture content in it and I'll be able to lock it in. If it doesn't wash, it means that it was just enough water, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, that it soaked in and it should lock in. Well, all right, we just barely got that finished up video done before my battery died. That was pretty much it. I had to get that road done to that point so them concrete trucks won't have too hard of a time in the morning. I've got to be back up here just in case I have trouble to hook a chain to them and pull them up the hill with the tractor. We're going to get them there one way or another. We will get the job done. What I'll do is come back next week and do a video for you guys of the concrete pads after they're completed. And let me just say that, man, I'm starting to get some good subscribers and people are starting to comment. And I'm not going to be one of those people that if somebody asks me a question and I see it, then I'm not going to answer it. I'm not out here just for the subscribers. I really do hope that I can make somebody's life just a little bit easier and help them out getting started in this business. And we love you guys. And if you're not a subscriber, we'd sure appreciate if you would subscribe, like the video, comment, tell me which camera angles you like, which ones you don't like. Help me make this the best and most interesting channel that I can. And if you're in the western North Carolina area and you need one of these services, give us a call. We'd love to work for you. Y'all have a good night and we'll see you in the morning.